सुरू करू मॅडम?
2 मिनिटं.
ओके.
अतुल्य सांग.
यस यस,
करायचं का?
एकच मिनिट, लिंक सुरू होतीये.
अरे तेरी
ओके.
लिंक बंद कर. ओके
स्टार्ट.
सुरू करू मॅडम?
यस मॅम,
हो
स्टार्ट.
हो येस. मॅडम तुमचं व्हॉल्यूम.
हो
मॅम
मॅडम.
स्टार्ट केला, आता लाईव्ह चालू झालं.
हा कमा.
यस.
जय भीम. Good morning. I offer deepest tribute to Lord Buddha and Bharat Ratna Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar before proceeding ahead in this webinar. Thank you for joining us today's national webinar series. This is 9th webinar in series. I am Dr. Swati Kekre, working as Assistant Professor in Psychology Department, privileged to welcome you all for this national level webinar series organized by People Education Societies, Mumbai, Milian College of Arts, Aurangabad. People Education Society was founded by Bharat Ratna Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar at Mumbai. Milian College of Arts is one of the oldest institute working under its network. Currently, the world is facing one of the most feared pandemic of all time, named COVID-19, caused by a novel coronavirus of SARS-CoV-2 class. Although the disease started in December 2019 in China, but rapidly progressed to affect more than 15 million people across 176 countries till date, and these numbers are only expected to rise further. A time when world's best healthcare facilities and global public health researchers are in dark setback, it's worth raising the question that are we prepared enough to handle the psychological ill effect and psychiatric issues that are anticipated in post-pandemic and lockdown period. Fear, anxiety, and disturbed mental state are common psychological response during disastrous situations like this. But undue prolonged mental instability with social isolation can act as stress for an individual. While higher income countries already apprehending worse recession and socioeconomic setbacks, low and middle income countries like India is high likely to face the worst. Many already proven social factors like sick, prolonged hospitalization, death of loved ones, loss of job, months of forced quarantine, lack of supply, stigma is likely to hit us all, especially those who are more vulnerable to stress and already suffering from mental illness. So, on this background, this webinar on the topic stress management during COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown is organized. So, today's objective is to know the causes of stress and how to handle this stressful condition. We are fortunate to have today's keynote speaker, an elite expert, Honorable Professor Rajendra Singh Rajput, sir, Professor and Head, Department of Community Medicine and Psychology, Government SDJH Medical College and Hospital, Azamgarh, Uttar Pradesh. Today's session chair is an eminent academician and subject expert, Honorable Dr. Aparna Ashtaputre Shisode Madam, Head, Department of Psychology, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad. Now, may I request to Dr. Vaishali Pradhan Madam, principal and organizer of the webinar series, Milind College of Arts, Aurangabad, to deliver welcome address. Principal Dr. Vaishali Pradhan, Madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Good morning to one and all. First of all, I pay my handsome tributes to our emancipator, Bharat Ratna Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, a visionary who founded People's Education Society, Mumbai's, and Milind College of Arts was one of the pioneer institutes established and founded in 1950. This year, the institution is celebrating its platinum jubilee. And to commemorate this event, we have organized a number of webinars, national seminars, and many more activities. The world is facing this disastrous pandemic, COVID-19, and we are locked down for months together, which is leading us to stress men, women, and children. The entire citizens in the world, not only in India, the entire world is suffering from this stress. The world is at a juncture when we are facing various crises, and I believe that stress is one of the biggest issues, very important, and we need to focus on that study and to analyze and find a solution to it. The social life of the citizens is hampered. The routine life is come to an halt. And such a situation, we find people are finding themselves in a chaotic situation. They do not know how to utilize the time, how to be stress free, how do we keep ourselves engaged, and many other issues. And to address such an important psychological issue, we have organized this webinar on stress management during COVID-19 and lockdown. And to do the needful, we have with us Honorable Dr. Rajendra Singh Rajput from Uttar Pradesh, an erudite scholar and thorough academician, and my student who is heading the Department of Psychology, Dr. Aparna Ashtaputri Sisode, who is always there when we need her. We thank her for that. And I know her expertise and Dr. Rajput's expertise will help the coming situation and the citizens of a country to come out of this crisis and live a happy life and a very positive attitude towards this whole thing. And let us see that once again the world smiles and we all are happy again. Jai Bhim. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. I would like to request Dr. Gauli sir to introduce the eminent speakers of today's webinar. Dr. Gauli sir.
हातोले त्यांचा कॅमेरा बंद आहे म्हणून सांग.
गौरी सर ऑडिओ म्यूट आहे तुमचा.
Thank you very much indeed, Swati Madam. On the occasion of one-day national webinar on stress management during COVID-19 and lockdown, I'm feeling privileged to introduce such an eminent personalities. Today, we have with us stalwart, towering personality as a keynote addressee, Professor Dr. Rajendra Singh Rajput, who is involved in teaching and training in community health since 1992. Presently, he is principal, professor, and head of the Department of Community Medicine and Psychology at Government SDJH Medical College and Hospital at Azamgarh, Uttar Pradesh. He is not only a committed and passionate teacher, but also diligent and dedicated researcher who provide consultancy, training, and monitoring for IEC development, curriculum designing, development to various universities, government departments, NGOs, CBOs, United Nations organizations, etc. Honorable Professor Dr. Rajendra Singh believes education should not be the piling of pale, but lighting of a fire. He gives spirit and strong belief to youth organizations like NSS, NCC, NYK, Scout and Guide on various broad spectrum like growth and development, MCH, ARSH, HIV, AIDS, etc. Dr. Rajendra Singh also has a flair for writing. He keeps on writing articles, features to print and electronic media. He has been columnist to various national dailies. He has 8 books, numerous articles, papers, monographs, concert notes, and vision documents on community health, mental health, psychology, and medical issues to his credit. He has been awarded prestigious American Excellence Award for holistic medicine and community health. He has also received the President of India's Award for his acumen of social service in adolescence. He propels pan-India adolescents and youth on life skills, healthy lifestyle, sexuality education, family life education, career counseling, etc. Before joining the state services through Public Service Commission, he served as principal cum director with a leading educational group of Central India. Honorable Dr. Rajput has been a member or subject expert in BOS, Admin Council, and various academic councils in different universities. He has been examiner in the subject of community medicine, psychology, sociology, rehabilitation, etc. Honorable Dr. Rajput has been a master trainer on de-addiction counseling, psychological first aid, suicide prevention, and crisis invention, family life education, sexuality education to the United Nations organizations, Government of India's Ministry of Youth Affairs. He is a recognized guide, mentor, and supervisor. He has been resourceful keynote speaker and chairperson to various world congresses and international conferences. I quote, "The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is skill. The willingness to learn is a choice." And Honorable Professor Dr. Rajendra Singh, sir, have always a choice. His academic credential tells us what a stalwart personality he is. His academic credential includes MD Homeopathy, MA Psychology, PhD Psychology, MPhil Social Media, MSc in 3 different subjects, MSc Public Health, PhD in Health, MBA, MPM, Diploma in Mental Retardation, PGC Rehabilitation, AII PMR Mumbai, PGD Guidance and Counseling, DLIT SC Community Health, CPU, United States of America. Thank you very much indeed, sir, for accepting our invitation and being the part of today's seminar. Thank you and welcome, sir. Today, we have one more eminent personality with us, chairperson of today's webinar, Honorable Dr. Aparna Ashtaputre Sisode, ma'am. She is heading the Department of Psychology, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad. She is a thorough academician having 14 years passionate teaching experience. She is diligent and dedicated researcher who has 15 scholarly articles to her credit in different national and international journals. She has 2 popular books to her credit. One, Parenting and Adolescent, and second in Marathi, that is Samupadeshan, Sankalpana, Swarup Ani Vyapti. Her area of research is parenting, personality, EEG, and emotion. She is also known for being a master trainer at Maharashtra Corporation of Entrepreneur Development, Aurangabad, Ministry of Small Micro Entrepreneur Development, Aurangabad, and Yashada also. Honorable Dr. Ashtaputra ma'am has special liking for doing counseling for children and youth, parents. She also has the liking for study skill development programs, personality profiling, stress management, which has illuminated and spared the life of many students and commoners. She is known for her destructive editorial work. She has played an active role as a columnist. She writes on different facets of career, personality, and parenting. She has also participated in discussion on different TV channels. I quote, an ordinary teacher tells, a good teacher explains, but an excellent teacher demonstrates and inspires. Indeed, ma'am has inspired a lot many students and commoners and showed them the way. The here, Dr. Ashtaputra ma'am conferred Best Teacher Award by Lions Club of Aurangabad and Department of Education, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad. Thank you very much, madam, for being the part of today's seminar. Over to Dr. Kekri ma'am.
Thank you, sir. If anyone has any question, I request them to type in the chat box so that it will be answered at the end of the webinar by the resource person in question answer session. Now, may I request to Professor Rajendra Singh Rajput sir to deliver keynote address and enlighten us. Professor Rajendra Singh Rajput sir.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sharing the screen. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
Swati ma'am.
Yes, sir.
You're audible. You're
Yeah.
audible.
You are audible, sir.
Okay. Ma'am, actually, this is my screen sharing is disabled from the host.
Those. Hatole?
केलं sharing ma'am.
Okay.
Is it okay, sir?
Let me see, ma'am.
Is it okay?
Yeah, is it visible to you all?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
screen is visible?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Let me go to. Yes. At the outset, I would like to welcome all the participants to this webinar, which is on stress and mental health during COVID-19, a holistic perspective. And before I start my deliberation, I would like to thank Pradhan ma'am, Aparna ma'am, and the whole team of Millen College to organize such a wonderful webinar on this very relevant topic, stress and mental health. Because since last 4 months, we all are passing through a kind of crisis in our everyday life, because we never have been faced this kind of situation ever. And this is a typical kind of situation where not only our mind is disturbed, but our finances, our daily life, our routines, everything of our daily life has been vastly affected. So it's an important topic, and I would like to proceed with my PPTs, and I'll try my best to focus on stress and how to manage it, what is the individual's role, and how the family or the society can help, or as a community, what we can do to de-stress ourselves and how we can remain healthy. Because I have kept the topic, the holistic perspective. Means we just not only focusing on the physical health or physical aspect, but we are focusing on overall health of an individual, that is physical, mental, social, and spiritual. So because COVID has just not affected our physical health, but our psychological health also, our social equilibrium also, our educational also, our economic aspect also. So overall, the human being or the human society is suffering from COVID-19. So what type of impact we have, how to come out of it, what has to be done from our side, what has to be done from the government side, what government is doing, and how to utilize this time at the best so that we can have a positive impact in our life. So let us start. Actually, we are talking about this COVID-19, how to control it. So for controlling measures, we need a lot of things. And the first of the thing to control COVID-19 is to know about it. Because if you know somebody, you can defend yourself. You can defend yourself, in fact. But if you're not knowing about that person or thing, then you will be develop a fear. So for COVID-19, we should understand what we say in Hindi very commonly is डरना नहीं समझना होगा तभी कोविड से बचना होगा. So सिर्फ हमारा मकसद या intention is not to control COVID, but how to live with COVID is today's aim of the seminar, because this is the situation which is not in our hand, and it is not supposed to go for next almost 6 to 9 months, I suppose, because whatever our epidemiological studies, whatever WHO, what is ICMR, all is saying is that we should start living with COVID. मतलब हमको ये सीखना होगा कि इस प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन के साथ हम कैसे जी सकते हैं, how to walk with COVID-19 hand in hand, so that we can protect ourselves, we can perform our activities of daily living also, we can have our day-to-day life also, we have to keep ourselves protected and to live the life. So what nowadays termed as new normal is very much there. So there are so many new things to learn. So many things are there to make our daily part of our daily life. So if we wanted to prevent this COVID-19, we should learn to understand that what actually COVID is, how harmful it is, what we should do to avoid the situation which can be affected by COVID, and how we can remain healthy for a long time. So let me start. This is the primary objective of today's seminar. That is to understand holistic view on health, illness, sickness, and disease, and to understand stress and mental health interventions specifically, and to know means and ways for overall well-being. The secondary objective of this session is to explore the biological, psychological, and social aspect of human stress response. How we as an individual respond to the stressors or to the stimuli is our objective of today's seminar, and to describe the difference between adaptive and maladaptive coping strategies, how you can manage with stress, how stress can be recognized, what are the signs and symptoms of stress, and if you can recognize, if you are aware, then you very easily you can handle it, very easily you can have an intervention for it. And the third objective is to understand coping strategies that to increase resilience, to promote productive and healthy living, because the ultimate aim of life to live happily. And how we can live happily unless until we are not in the state of equilibrium, we cannot live happily. So what is this equilibrium and how from it comes? How you can recognize that, yes, these are the means and ways through which I can get a equilibrium. So today focus stress, but there are so many other things also which are also important for dealing with COVID-19. And the prominent most is the stress. So for that, we are having a we are going to understand it through its causes, symptoms, and coping strategies, so that we can be well aware whether the symptoms coming out, or somebody is having these kind of symptoms, whether he is suffering from a stress condition, or any kind of anxiety is there, or what kind of problem is there, and how we can help it out. Or if we cannot help it out, then what are the resources available? There are so many free resources available for stress busting. There are so many free hands are available through which you can talk to. Means the helplines are there, online counseling is available, government also providing, local people are also providing. There are various NGOs also who are into providing you help. The first thing is you have to recognize your problem, and then you have to seek for the help. Unless until you are not seeking for the help, you or some other, the significant others who are with you, has to recognize the problem and to ask for help. So let's go further. These are three basic terminologies which we commonly use in while we are dealing with stress, or we are managing our stress, right? The first thing is stress. What is stress? Stress is basically a state of disharmony or a threat to homeostasis. Homeostasis is what? Actually, the equilibrium. Equilibrium in what? Actually, the WHO or World Health Organization says health is a state of complete physical, mental, social, and spiritual well-being, not merely absence of any disease or infirmity. Means they have put all these four components, physical, mental, social, and spiritual, together, and they ask if it is a equilibrium between all of these four, then the person is healthy. Similar kind of a state of disharmony or threat to homeostasis is where we have a changes. What kind of changes? Physiological changes, which increases alertness, focus, or energy. Then there are certain perceived demand that may exceed the perceived resources. Means you are not able to handle that. That's why the disharmony is there, the threat is there. So this is what stress is in very typical terms. Then coping is the ability to maintain control, think rationally, and to solve the problems. Then resilience is a resistant quality that permits a person to recover quickly and thrive in spite of all the adversities in life. So these are the major three terms which we are using very frequently. Now let's see what stress, how does stress means starts, or the what is the origin of stress, or likewise what is the origin of the disease. This is a trilogy which has a interplay or interaction in between. This trilogy is demonstrated by a triangle which has angles as environment, agent, and host. As you all know, environment can be internal and be external. Internal environment includes genetic or hereditary traits, and the external environment includes the acquired surrounding. Genetic traits we all have because we all are individuals and we have individual differences. So from our parents, from our families, we carry on the genetic or hereditary traits. And while we develop as a human being, because as a human being, when we comes in this world, we are a little child. We are merely a biological being. But as we grow in age, we get a social interaction, we get a social relationship, we get a social role, different roles we have. So we have that kind of social interaction with our outerly world also. So human being, a social being cannot live alone. He needs others to live with them. So stress, condition of disease not only depend on that individual only, but the others also, which many types of agent can be a biological agent, agent can be chemical agent, agents can be in the form of human being also, which affects our life or which are part of our life, like our family members, like our friends, peer groups, our co-workers, our relatives, and other people who come into contact with us in our day-to-day life. All they are agents. They can cause stress to you. They can cause disease to you. And the third part, the third pillar of the trilogy is the host. Host means we ourselves, we as an individual, we ourselves has a very significant role in catching stress or catching any kind of disease. There are variety of host factors. Everybody cannot catch stress. Everybody cannot catch disease. There are certain host factors which are responsible for the state of stress or the state of disease. What are that host factors? Host factors include five, six major things, which are age group. This is one of the host factor which is responsible for getting stress or getting disease. So age group means how you will define it. Age group means if you see the life cycle approach, whatever disease or whatever stress the newborn baby has, or the intrauterine life of a baby has, the fetus has, the outer world, he cannot have that. So the child of 0 years or 1 month or 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 13 years, 19 years, or 25 years, or 35 years plus people, or 45 plus people, or 65 plus people. This age group, male and female, the gender, then educational status, then your cultural values, your moral values, your social norms, all this contributes your food habits, your type of exercise you are doing day to day, into day to day life, and what is your housing pattern, where do you live, what religious practices you follow, what social norms you follow, how legal aspects you follow. These all host factors contributes to origin of stress or origin of any kind of disease. May it be COVID-19, may it be any kind of simple flu, or maybe may it be any kind of fever, or any kind of lifestyle disorders like diabetes, hypertension, thyroid problem. There are so many things. Every disease and every stressful condition can be correlated by these three trilogy, which is environment, agent, and host. And if these are the causative factor, if these are the main culprit, then if you want to get rid of stress, or if you want to get rid of diseases, we have to focus the interventions here only, at the agent point, or at the host point, or at the environment. At present, if you're talking about COVID-19, environment is cannot be means intervene majorly by ourselves, because it's a big risk. You cannot handle the outside environment, right? You cannot change it, in fact, right? You can handle, but you cannot change it. That is not in your hand. Agent, which is very new, as the introducer was saying while introducing me, that it's a new virus. COVID-19 is a new virus. It is from the coronavirus family, but it is so new that we know very little about it, very little about its traits, in fact, because how does it affect, to which drugs it respond, till what time it can survive, on what phases, on what surfaces it can survive, how does it been affected by temperature, how it is affected by environment, how to kill it, how to go for its preventive aspect, like prophylaxis medicine, like vaccination. So this is very new to us. So we need a little bit time to understand it. So majorly we cannot directly intervene with the causative agent, that is COVID-19, coronavirus 2, and environment is not in our hand. So the third option remains with us is host factors. So whatever age group we have, whatever religion we have, whatever race we have, whatever physical status we have, whatever gender we have, I'm talking about all the genders, in fact, because lately I was talking to a group of eunuchs. They also have a different type of problems. So anybody who is a living being is been affected by this situation, this crisis, in fact. And we in India, we have very little knowledge about crisis management or crisis intervention, because till time we have not been faced with such kind of virus or such kind of bioterrorism, in fact, because many people says that it has been developed virus. So I don't want to go into the controversy, but we as an individuals, we as an Indians need to understand and need to equip ourselves to fight against such kind of tremendous things which has to be come into future, because this is just a beginning. It is a simple virus, but there may be variety of bacteria, variety of fungus, variety of viruses or other fungi which can come into picture in near future. So what the thing is, we have to get ready to fight with them, to understand them, and to live with them. So what my carry on point is that we have to learn to deal with it. That is the crux of the webinar today, because unless until we don't learn how to deal with these situations, it will be very difficult. This is very easy to blame others. We can say that yes, government is responsible, that person is responsible, some other organization is responsible, but ultimately we will be being affected. So we have to take good care of ourselves, and we can understand the things so that we can take care of our family and our society at large. So, in today's session, we are basically talking about stress. So, there are four types of stress. One is U stress, which is known as good stress. That is known as manageable stress, which can lead you to growth and development and enhance competencies. Means it's a good type of stress. Everybody has it, and you need to have it. U stress is good because unless until U stress is not there, the performance means can be affected. So you have to be enthusiastic, you have to be prepared, you have to be motivated. That is what a part of your stress is. Then the distress, that is bad stress. This is a situation where you are uncontrollable, your behavior is uncontrollable, and the problem is prolonged, you are overwhelming, and this all leads to the destructive behavior, destructive pattern of life, in fact. Then comes the acute stress. Acute means it is for a short term. So it is having a immediate response to the threat or challenge which you face. It may be any particular situation for a time being, but it is not for a long time period. And then comes chronic stress. Chronic stress is a kind of stress which is having a ongoing exposure that seems to be unrelenting, and that needs to be understood and needs to be intervened in the due course of time. Otherwise, it affects your health. So these are basically two types of causes which I was talking about: external causes and internal causes. The causes of stress as an external cause, family. We are talking in general. Family, the work situation or the workplace, then the economic condition, then your education institution, maybe school, maybe college, or rather major life changes, then unforeseen events. If we talk in present scenario in relation to COVID-19, the external causes all are affecting each and every one of us. That number one comes family. Before this COVID-19, there was very rare occasions to be together, all the family members, or rather at the weekends or on the Sundays, we have a very kind of get together. But now since last few months, today is third day, almost 4 months complete, we are living together. So all is having a very one-to-one interaction. We are sharing our feelings, we are sharing our emotion, we are sharing space, we are sharing our things together. So this may lead to some or the other type of many times some imbalance is there, some expectations are not fulfilled, some over expectations are there, which can cause stress. Then comes the work. So during this pandemic, everybody is working from home. Even the children who are a school student or college student, they are attending their online classes. So this work hours are not fixed many times, and this work hour is has to be done from any part of the home where you have a workstation if you made it, or rather you can work from anywhere, any place. So this uncertainty of the place, uncertainty of the internet, and uncertainty of so many things that you wanted to do is create a lot of stress due to your work also. Then finances are badly affected by of everyone. who are daily breadwinners or who are having day-to-day earning, they are badly affected. Then school and colleges, education institutions, they are also having problem. Students are also having problem. There are due to COVID-19, there are major life changes also. Many people has to postpone their life events, like marriage has to be postponed, some other kind of celebration has to be postponed, important travels has to be postponed. And moreover, if you have some or the other family members which has been affected, or some relative which has been affected by COVID-19 and died due to this pandemic, there is a kind of psychological trauma to them, because many times the situation is like that you have not been allowed for the to perform the last rites, because due to infection prevention or hospital borne infection prevention. Because of that, we have to keep the whole body into wrapped condition, and many times we suggest, in fact, to the family members also to be away from the diseased person, and we suggest them to go for direct burial or for funeral. So these are certain things which in present situation creates a lot of stress, because if the person who died was only a bread earner of the family, then this condition can lead to a prolonged stress or prolonged post-traumatic stress disorder also. And there are certain unforeseen events also, that till date we doesn't know up to what time this lockdown or this kind of situation will carry on. Many parts of the country is again under lockdown for 10 days and 15 days, and many are having a restriction of 36 hour or 72 hours lockdown or complete lockdown. So these are the situations which create a turmoil in brain, and which causes stress. Then there are certain internal causes also, which if you are not affected by the above said conditions, then you have certain worries. It's very natural, it's very normal. We should understand that stress is a condition which is very normal part of life. Everybody can have it, unless until you are not a yogi, or you are not a saint, or if you are not if you are a social person, you are not living within the society, then you cannot. Otherwise, everybody has a stress. So these internal causes contributes to worry. We have a lot of worries that about the pandemic. Then the uncertainty is, of course, is there. Then fear. This fear is many times the fear is of unknown origin, because we are empaneled with so many telecounseling lines also. So as an expert, when people call us, there are certain fear of unknown. We ask them that what is the condition which is fearing you? What is the problem which is bothering you as a fear? They say, sir, pata nahi, lekin aisa bas dar lagta rehta hai. So this fear of unknown origin is very prominent nowadays, and not to the adults, to even to the children also. They doesn't know till what time means the situation will continue. Then our attitude. Many of the people who is having a carefree attitude, and many of them are very attentive to the situations. So it is depends on one to one. And then there are certain unrealistic expectations. We say कि गवर्नमेंट लॉकडाउन क्यों लगाती है, सबको सबको पकड़ के उठा करके एक तरफ क्यों ना कर दे, जितने पॉजिटिव लोग हैं उनको क्यों ना एक जगह बंद करके और उनका इलाज कर दे, उनको आने ही क्यों दे. बहुत सारी ऐसी situations है, because we know that migrant laborers has to come back to their houses. Many important people or students who are outside has to come back to their homes. So these are certain kind of things which you should not restrict, because these are the unrealistic expectation. Many times this unrealistic expectation is from ourselves also, from the self also. So we have to realize that what is expected, what is realistic, what is unrealistic, so that you cannot affected by stress. These are the four fronts at present we are facing at this time of pandemic. These four things are very prominent in everyone who is facing this pandemic. The first one is threat. The threat is kind of thing which is like कि कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं मुझे हो जाएगा, मेरे dear and near ones को तो नहीं हो जाएगा, मेरे मेरे if you have a elderly parents, I say कि यार मेरे parents को तो नहीं हो जाएगा कहीं. So this threat is kind of not for me only, for my loved ones also. And this threat creates a lot of pressure inside and we become anxious. And we know anxiety is a root cause of so many other diseases, not only stress, but there are n number of diseases which can caused by constant pressure and constant anxiety. So this constant anxiety or pressure leads to frustration. And if you are frustrated, then you say कि यार कुछ भी हो जाए, बहुत कुछ किया जा सकता है, चलो मुझे तो जाना है, मीन्स जाना है, I would like to go, I would like to go out, I don't want to live in this situation, no, no more I don't want, no more I want to live in this situation, let me be free. So this careless attitude also many times create a lot of problems. There are variety of chances of exposure to not only to COVID, but there are COVID-like situations or are certain respiratory infections which are prevailing in this present scenario. So not COVID, but that RTIs can affect you, can infect you. So be cautious about that. Frustration should not lead to any kind of self-harming behavior. So you have to think about that. Many times the conflict is also there, whether what to do, not to do. This COVID-19 is not a clear-cut situation where you can have a fixed number of things which you should follow and you can get rid of it. It is not like that, because there are so many things which is not in your hand, and this conflict will carry for some more time. The only resolution to the conflict is we should understand, we should work for it. Everybody is, I suppose, maximum of the students are there, and we all, in fact, know about the visible and non-visible signs and symptoms of stress. If you talk about cognitive level, so there is a decreased level of concentration. There is lack of comprehension. The memory has also been affected. Uh, then behavioral problems you can see in day-to-day life. Irritability, everybody is getting irritated, even on very petty things, very small things. Uh, uh, as I was putting the example that we are with family for last 4 months, 24 hours, 24/7. We are there. So many of you must be having in hand an experience about irritability. Then there are certain withdrawal also. मीन्स ठीक है यार, जिंदगी तो ऐसी चलनी है, अब तो इसके साथ ही चलना है, चलो लेट्स गो विद इट, राइट. सो बहुत कुछ करना नहीं. मेनी ऑफ द पीपल हु कॉल्स अस इन टेली काउंसलिंग से कि डॉक्टर साहब बस नींद ही नींद आते रहती, कुछ करने का मन नहीं करता है, और डॉक्टर साहब बस खूब स्पाइसी खाने का मन करता है, डॉक्टर साहब कुछ स्वीट्स खाने का मन करता है. ये सारी situation leads to stress, मतलब because of stress also these are some kind of withdrawal signs which are significant of stress. So we should understand कि यदि आपका बार बार बहुत खाने का मन कर रहा है, बहुत मीठा खाने का, बहुत स्पाइसी खाने का, बहुत इस तरह का सोने का मन कर रहा है, so this kind of symptom can be withdrawal symptoms. We should understand it. Many behavioral changes can be seen as an violence also. So violence means because of irritability, because of anger, because of some other rigid problems, violence is also being occurred during this phase of life, because there are certain domestic violences which we are hearing. So if the man is not able to handle with his stress condition, then the domestic violences are being seen in the families. Emotional sign and symptoms, I already talked about, fear, anxiety, depression, fatigue. It is very common. Then there are certain physiological condition. We have a OPD, ongoing OPD. We see there that many of the people who seems to be healthy, they come with a palpitation problem or perspiration problem, or having sweating in hand and palms, and having certain other kind of problems. And if we examine them, then we find that yes, there is a increase of BP in their situation, increase of heart rate, increase of respiration. This is because of prolonged stress, and this is because of this pandemic situation. And apart from this pandemic situation, there may be certain diseases like hypertension permanent or dyslipidemia or kind of heart diseases. जिसमें भी ये हो सकता है, but the normal healthy human being which seems normally healthy, they also have a raised BP or raised HR or raised respiration also. So these causes, these symptoms may physiologically leads to stress. Then there are certain somatic symptoms. Somatic system means symptoms means there are symptoms on your body. You have a constant itching at one particular place. You may find that there are rashes on the skin. You may find that you are having a sore throat all of a sudden. So these somatic symptoms also suggest that yes, there is something in the mind which needs to be intervened. And all these situations leads to decreased immune response. Everybody is nowadays is talking about increasing your immunity, boost your immunity, and there are variety of means and ways which we can use for increasing our immune response. But let me tell you, friends, immunity cannot be increased or immunity cannot be developed within day 2 or day 3 or day 4 or in 1 week to 10 days. It needs a lot of time, at least as far as my vision goes, it needs at least 40 days to develop a immunity. So body's immune response needs time to be developed. It is not so that आज आपने तुलसी का काढ़ा पी लिया, अदरक पी लिया, काली मिर्च पी ली, लौंग खा लिया, so overnight you will develop immunity or immune response in against any kind of bacteria or virus. It is not so, because immune response is your body's defense mechanism, and this defense mechanism needs to be developed. It has its own time. It's had on or of a duration, because the main pillar of your immune system is your WBCs, to which you call leukocytes also. There are T cells, there are G cells, there are variety of cells which are the part of immune response. So they need to be developed in due course of time. They have a life cycle. So mind it that if you want to develop your immune response, you constantly have to effort for the thing. These are the common associated disorders which are related with stress. Diminished immunity we have already seen. These are common symptoms of stress which may be associated with some disease or disorder, or purely they may be because of stress. But commonly nowadays what we see in our OPDs, in our telemedicine sessions, is commonly the stress people nowadays, they call for headache, fatigue, हमेशा थका थका लगना, then headache is there, then weight gain is very common nowadays, dyslipidemia, imbalance of biochemical changes inside the blood, hypertension I already talked about. Heart disease is not as such heart disease, but because of lack of exercise, because of overeating, because of chronic kind of stress, there may be some kind of cardiovascular problem. Then psoriasis, eczema, these are the common things which are being developed because of stress. Digestive problem is very common, hyperacidity, then constipation, then eructations. These are the things which is coming into our regular OPD. Anxiety, depression, alcoholism, yes, substance abuse. I would like to talk about two major substances which are being abused during this COVID-19 phase. One is tea and coffee, and the other one is tobacco. I would like to request through this platform to each and everyone who is using these substances, kindly control it. No more 2 teas, no more than 2 teas or 2 coffees in a day. No more 2 times tobacco. Otherwise, stop it altogether if you can, right? Because ultimately, it is just not affecting your immunity. It is badly affecting your biochemical equations inside your blood. Because बहुत सारे patients इस समय आ रहे हैं जिनका खून गाढ़ा हो जा रहा है, and that is because of tobacco. That is because of constant having tea or coffee. Because once you are in stress, once you are in anxiety, इंडिया में दिस इज वेरी कॉमन कि आओ जरा 2 सुट्टे लगा लें, एक सिगरेट पी लें, एक बीड़ी पी लें, तंबाकू खा लें, एंड दिस इज वेरी कॉमन टाइम पास इन इंडिया. कुछ नहीं करना है तो आओ चाय. चाय पी लेते हैं. So India में every time is a tea time. There is a no fixed time for tea. So please avoid it at least till this situation is there, because once the biochemical change, your blood become acidic. In that condition, any damn kind of virus, any damn kind of bacteria can affect you, and that will lead to a certain disease, and that will be a problematic situation. Because nowadays, if you go to any hospital, maybe government, maybe private, there are so many restrictions that easily you cannot get admitted. So it is wise, it is very witty decision to keep yourself away from such things which can lead to disease. Yes, insomnia is also one of the disorder which is being created by stress. Then the other condition which is I'm telling you is irritable bowel syndrome. इसके भी बहुत सारे मरीज हमारे पास आ रहे हैं, and this is what condition is. Not to go for the nomenclature irritable bowel syndrome, the simple words you can understand कि खाना खाने के बाद लैट्रिन जाना होता है. जैसे ही खाना ऐसा लगता है कि I must go to toilet, I must go to the washroom. So this kind of condition, जिसमें कि your intestine is working extra. It is hyperactive in fact. So that may be because of anxiety, that may be because your food habits, that may be because your lack of sleep, that may be because of lack of water. So many things are there. So during this COVID-19, we see this kind of symptoms are coming to our OPDs. Then comes fibromyalgia. This is also one of the very common. Whatever disorders I have listed in this slide, 90% of them has I come across through my tele-counseling, tele-medicine and tele-health sessions. Whatever patients has told me, I just enlisted them. So my request to all the viewers is, please see all of these conditions, and this may be because of stress, maybe because of some other reason also, but majorly we are contributing to stress only because the present situation is very stressful. So, my dear friends, think about all these situations. Fibromyalgia is also one of the common complaint which is being told to us by many of the telecallers. जैसे कि शरीर में दर्द हो रहा है, बॉडी में तो दर्द होता समझ में आता है, पूरी बॉडी में दर्द हो रहा है वो समझ में आता है, बट एक पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गन की मसल, सिर्फ फॉर एग्जांपल कि ऊपर कंधे में ही सिर्फ दर्द हो रहा है, या सिर्फ थाइज में ही हो रहा है, या काफ मसल्स में नीचे पैर में ही हो रहा है, या कुछ लोग तो कहते हैं कि हमारे तलवों में जलन हो रही, तलवों में पेन हो रहा है, बहुत हैवीनेस लग रहा है. So this is condition we contributes to fibromyalgia because of stress. There are certain muscle protein which has been affected, and because of lactic acid, muscles में हमारे दर्द होने लगता है. And this last thing, which is decreased sex drive, it is also a common complaint of people of 50 plus years age, which we get through telecounseling sessions. So my dear friends, these are certain associated disorders which contribute by stress. So we have to think about that also. So ये तो सारी बात हुई कि what are the problems, how stress can lead to so many things, but what is the solution? The solution is not outside, the solution is within. It is very much with us, with the self, with the individual who is suffering from it. So what we should do? It's a very simple thing, and it is very common thing in management. We call it SWOT analysis, and I'm sure that many of you must be knowing it. SWOT analysis is a combination of 4 words. This is strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So not only for stress, for anything, if you want to work out any prolonged situation, you should go for SWOT analysis. In this pandemic condition, if you want to get out of stress or some any other problem, we should first see that what problem is. The first thing is to recognize the problem, identify the problem. Is the problem is stress? It's okay. If there is some other problem, go for it. Once you recognize the stress, the problem or the situation, you can go for SWOT analysis to get rid of that problem or to get a solution about it, right? So presently we are talking about stress. So what is your strength? You identified that the problem is stress. So what is your strength? How you can fight with stress? What is your strength? Means you are good at what? If you are good at something, you try that as you can fight against stress. if you and then what is your weakness? Likewise कि situation मुझे बहुत डराती है. I'm physically not that fit. I'm not physically healthy. I'm having some diseases, and there are through media I come to know that if I'm having a hypertension, I'm more prone to having COVID-19, or if I'm above 50 years, I'm more prone to COVID-19, or if I'm having certain diseases, I may prone to this thing. So this is the weakness. For that, you need to understand. You need to understand, and once you understand it, you will easily can fight against it. Then comes the opportunity. This situation, this stressful condition, maybe आपको opportunity देखनी है. What kind of opportunities है? Maximum time you are at home. So whatever your residual ability is, whatever skill you have, whatever things you have, you can choose that particular thing as a tool, and you can work with it, and you can get rid of stress. Threat, how you can recognize what is the threat to you, whether the threat is for life or whether the threat is for your thought, because behavior is not a simple thing. Behavior comes from your thinking. Once you have a thought, that thought process into action, and that action becomes the behavior. So what threat is there? What is the thought of that threat? You have to work on that. If you can work on these four pillars: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat, you can easily jot down the points: which are your strength, which are your weakness, what is the opportunity, and what threat you are feeling, and you can deal with the stress very easily. These are certain coping mechanisms which are very helpful in present situation, that you must have a realistic expectation from people, right? Then plan. If you have certain problem, plan it for it, work out on that, and you can get rid of it. Reframing, the change the way you look at the things. अभी आपको लगता है कि the situation is very pathetic, it is not going to be changed. It is not so. Everybody is working on that, and definitely will get rid of this situation also. So reframe your mind, right? Then comes relaxation. This is also one of the good coping mechanism. You have to learn certain relaxation techniques, like we are very commonly, we can go for pranayam, yoga, and some others like yog nidra. There are many things are there, like progressive relaxation techniques. There are a number of techniques which is very easily available on internet and elsewhere also. And one of the coping mechanism is discuss the problem. Don't live with the problem. Leave the problem with the solution, and that can come if your mind on alone cannot come to see the problem. Discuss with others. Discuss with the significant others. Discuss with your friend. Discuss with your family. Actually, for prevention of COVID-19, what we did is we have to follow certain rules, and one of the rule is social distancing. So in spite of physical distancing, we made it social distancing. Social distancing means we are keeping ourselves away from the other social beings, which is producing, there is a lack of communication, there is a lack of conversation in between people. So it caused more aloofness, it caused more isolation, it caused more kind of akelapan. So this is what actually you are not sharing your problem with others. So you need to in interaction with people so that the problems can be solved. These are certain promoting adaptive behaviors, like training. You can get yourself trained. Training means not needed that you should go outside for the training. Online trainings are also available. You can get it, and that is freely available on the net. You can join any group which are who are providing various kind of relaxation techniques, and various kind of stress releasing exercises are there. Then comes the nutrition. You need to eat healthy. You have to avoid skipping meals. What I mean to say eat healthy is, it's not necessary that during this lockdown also you should go out and buy very expensive vegetables, or buy very expensive foods. Whatever available at your home, you cook it, but must have the fresh one. जैसे ही आपने खाना बनाया, 1 घंटे के अंदर आपको खा लेना है, right? So eat fresh food. Whatever healthy eating is, basically home cooked food had to be you need to have the home cooked food within an hour of cooking. Don't keep it for a long time, and make your meals time 2 times meal. If you are taking, take it at a fixed time. Don't delay it because you are not feeling hungry, you are not in a mood. Lot of mood swing is there. अभी तो मन नहीं कर रहा, थोड़ी देर बाद खा लेंगे, फिर इकट्ठा होकर के खा लेंगे. Don't make this kind of changes, because whatever you eat, if you eat timely, definitely your immune system will be regulating your body's self mechanism, which is known as homeostasis. It needs to be get into tune. So your biological clock has to meet with your requirement of keeping oneself healthy. Exercise, you must include regular exercise in your routine. Morning evening walk, आप कहते हो बाहर नहीं निकलना होता, I'll suggest you कि आप कह 10 by 10 का भी रूम है, या if you have a roof, so make walking of figure of 8. Make walking like figure of 8, like this. You should walk in your room like this, right? So this is the easiest way of completing your walk. So you need not to go outside. Within the room also you can do it. So keep a regular exercise. Every 12 hours you must do some or the other exercise for 15-20 minutes regularly. Go for pranayam 10 to 20 minutes regularly, so that your vital capacity or your lung capacity will be increased. As you must be aware that COVID-19 affects directly on lungs, so you need to be you need to have healthy lungs for that, and healthy lungs can come through breathing exercise only. So pranayam is one of the way. Then sleep, get adequate sleep, because sleep is our wear and tear management system. So whatever you want to repair, you have to sleep, and the sleep has to be for 6 to 10 hours regularly. So depends on so many things also, but still 6 to 8 hours sleep is advisable, because the complete mechanism of body for a healthy human being is 6 to 8 hours. These things you should avoid. These are known as maladaptive behaviors or maladaptive coping mechanisms, like negative attitude, anger, alcohol and drugs, hopelessness, all this. This is also one of the very helpful thing. We Indians have a habit of praying 2 times, right? So prayers can be one of the good idea to get rid of anxiety and worries and tensions. So we should practice daily. This is also one of the very important thing, that is social support. It is having a very prominent and profound effect on our day-to-day life. So we should ask for help from other people, and we should help to others also, because isolation and poor social support, it leads to further stress. So we should not do this. This is what I earlier told, that you should recognize your skills and talent, because at the time of lockdown, you are at home. So make an inventory of your strength, or make inventory of your skills, जो आप बचपन में करते रहे हो, स्कूल टाइम में करते रहे हो, कॉलेज टाइम में करते रहे हो. Whatever hobby you have, whatever skill you have, whatever talent you have, you can develop that, and you can perform, because there are so many free performing platforms are available nowadays in the era of ICT. So you can perform there. That way you can boost your energy, you can boost yourself, you can boost your well-being. So use your strength and talent, and be active. So the crux of this session is stress is basically part of everyday life. We need to understand it, we have to grow with it, and we have to develop certain competencies. Then we should have adaptive coping mechanism, so that the resilience can be built up. We have to avoid maladaptive behavior. And there are, apart from our own health, if you are able to do it, that's very good. Otherwise, there are certain free apps available online or available at the Google Play stores. You can download them. They are very helpful. Like the mindfulness app is very good. The Calm app, which is having so many things in it, meditation, where variety of visual meditation is there, variety of relaxation techniques has been shown, a variety of tricks has been shown that how you can calm yourself. One app is Om Vana. That is also one of the good app. There are many free available apps which you can download, and you can follow the activities in the app, and that way you can lead a healthy and happy life. So ultimately, we have to keep a balance. This sign is a sign of yin and yang. Means life has both the phases. One is dark and one is white. And it's keep on going. The life is जीने का नाम जिंदगी है, चलने का नाम जिंदगी है. You must have heard. So like that only, we have to keep on going. This situation is not going to live for long. It will also go away. But in the meantime, you have to balance yourself. You have to keep yourself balancing physically, mentally, and spiritually. This is the last slide which I would like to share with all you. Uh, during this pandemic time, this is what we have seen is people during this COVID-19, there are people who are in three zones. The first one is fear zone. People feel that uh, uh, there is fear. Yes, I complain frequently. I forward all the messages, whatever I received. I get mad easily. I grab food, toilet papers, and whatever essential need, day-to-day needs. I collect all that. It means you are in a fear zone. So from fear zone, we have to come into the learning zone, and from learning zone, we have to come into the growth zone. So 60, 80%, 60%, 80% people are now in fear zone. They are very, very, very afraid of the situation. So my suggestion is, if you are in fear zone, try to be in learning zone. I start to give up what I can't control. If it is not in my hand, so why to worry about it? I stop compulsively consuming what hurts me, from food to news. Every time you are on the TV, and you'll see a lot of news about COVID-19, and this way you can collecting variety of e-stimulation to your brain for stress. So avoid 2 times news is okay. It's enough. Whole day if you see the news, definitely you will become anxious, and that will lead to your emotions will be affected. Then there may be lot of problems. Then from you have to leave, means you have to start learning from the situation. And whatever the growth zone we contribute to is, whatever talent available to you, you show it to the world. Whatever you have in your hand, you empathetically distribute it with other people. Also share with it whatever you have, maybe knowledge, maybe skill, maybe anything. Even not anything, you can lend emotional support to others, because that is only the thing which is needed most in today's situation. So thanks for your patience. I hope I was able to convey you certain things which are relevant in present scenario. Still, if you have any question, or if you have any doubt regarding healthcare, or regarding any aspect of this situation, you can ask me. Once again, thank you very much to the organizers and to listeners both. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the delivery of such resourceful session. It has given us a new ways to handle the stress during the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very
Now
much.
I would like to request Dr. Aparna Ashtaputre Shisode Madam to deliver the chair address and guide us. Dr. Aparna Ashtaputre Shisode Madam.
Okay, thank you very much, madam. Thank you, sir. It was really a very informative speech by you. It really gave a broad perspective into this stressful situation that we are facing, that we all are going through. We all are like in a difficulty we are facing, and the people, the laymen, are looking forward towards psychologists, people who are working in psychology, to get help. And I'm sure by listening this your lecture, your speech, the layman has also understood that this is the situation where we can definitely understand and come out of and live really a very healthy life in this situation also. The one thing which you have very rightly, very aptly said, that you don't have to go outside, you have to go inside. So this is a journey, inside journey. So really it is a very important thing. And I remember one sentence from the psychology, the Buddhist psychology, which is really very much up to this situation, that what you think you are. So if I think I have a stress, I will definitely have stress in me. So what I think is very important. And now, as we cannot go outside the home, this is the best time. Then we can go inside ourselves, and just check what are the thoughts that we are going through, what are the thoughts that are flowing through. Sir have rightly said, so many physical problems people are facing, and sir will also agree with me that these are almost psychosomatic problems because of stress and anxieties and fear. They are going through all this physical difficulties also. So the techniques that sir have given are really, really very important that we have to use. Nowadays, what is happening, like we are seeing from like last 4 months, I would like to add few things from my experience, that we are getting so much of information. There is information overload. To think positive, to be happy, to adjust, to get everything in this situation. We are just getting the things inside. But unless and until we do it, nothing can happen. Only thinking will again increase my stress. Because see, I know that doing exercise, sir has very rightly said that walking is very important, exercise is very important. I know this, I accept also, I understand also. But then I don't get up. When I get up, I don't feel like walking. And then again the stress increases, that I know it and I'm not doing it. And so again I start feeling that something is there in my throat. Because the corona is there, and as I'm not doing exercises, I'm not taking healthy food, so something is happening to me. So the only thing now, as sir has said so very rightly, he has given so many steps, so many things. Only thing for us is to do it. Action is very important, and this action starts with a very small action, that you just have to get up, sitting down. See, it is said that a person who is working, if you give him few more work, he will do it. But the person who is sitting idle, and if you ask him to only one thing, one action also, it would be very difficult for him. So a person who is walking can run very fast. A person who is sitting, for him running is very difficult. So what we'll do, will not start running. We will make that I'm sitting, I need to stand up. So if I want to cope up with this stressful situation, I'll not think of mindful meditation. It is very good. But just sitting and thinking of having a mindful meditation will really increase my stress. So what I will do is, at least I will stand up wherever, if I'm sitting, I will stand up every 20 minutes. I'll just stand up and again sit. Once I do this, then what I can do is, after when I stand up, I'll take 5 steps, not more than that, only 5 steps. See, just 5 steps is very simple thing. So I can do that. Then I can say, okay, once in the day I will walk. Slowly we can do it. And we have to start, right? As WHO has also said that we have to live with this corona. We cannot like say that ये सब खत्म हो जाएगा तब मैं सब शुरू करूंगी, ये सब खत्म हो जाएगा ना, then I'll start exercising, then I'll start doing it. ये खत्म नहीं होने वाला है. अगर होगा तो then that would be really a great thing. But for right now, what we can do is, we will take small steps. When we take small steps, it's easy. It will not burden us. It will give us the feeling of achievement. See, I have decided that every 1 hour I will stand up, and I am doing it. So this is an achievement. Whatever I decide, I do it. So this achievement. So this achievement will give a positivity in me, and then really I can work on it. So this is a very small step that we can make. Think, think that I am standing up. You will stand, because what you think, you will do that. This thinking process is very important for dealing with stress. This thought process is very important. So now, as I have a time, We have work, we are learning to cope up with this online and internet and all those things. We are coping. We will understand this, that okay, this is something new I am learning. If you are learning, that is really a good thing. That we were told that you should have an online things and other, but it was always on the second priority or a third priority. But now it is the first priority. So we are learning, and while learning we need to understand we are student of this online learning. So we'll make mistakes. Few of my friends, they are saying it's really difficult and we are making mistakes, and so I don't want to do it. I said, see, we are learning. My son does it better than me, so they are expert in that. We are learner, so we need to learn this. So this learning, if we make ourselves that we are student and we start learning, this will also give an achievement feeling. Why I'm asking for achievement feeling is, if we have this achievement feeling, the oxytocin increases in our brain. This oxytocin, when it increases in brain, it gives me the feeling of happiness, a good feeling. And this good feeling is very important today, because I cannot go out, I cannot hug people because of the situation. So what I can do is, through these small achievements, I can manage my stress. I can manage my insecurities. See, I have so many insecurities. क्या होगा, क्या होगा का आंसर किसी के पास नहीं है, और अगर है भी तो वी आर नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग इट, और it is half cooked. So when I have this insecurity, to deal with this insecurity, action is the only thing that we can do. We have to take action. If we don't take action, the insecurities will remain there only. And as the insecurity increases, all the problems crop up. The problems can be anything. It can come with your physical being, or maybe bodily pains or psychological problems, anything. So better is we start with the small things. You know, if I deal with my insecurities, the thing would be easy. Stitch in time saves life. So we will stitch this insecurity here only. So we'll not go ahead. We'll not go We'll not have a problem of going towards doctor, because again doctors are also not taking the patients because of this all the situation. So this is a really very good time where we can think of our health. And for very small things we used to go to doctor and take medicine. Now we are not doing that. That is very good thing of this situation. So I have to find out, to manage my stress, that what are the good things this situation is providing me. Previously, agar thoda bhi dukta tha, I used to call the doctor कि I have acidity, shall I take this antacid? Now I know that okay, fine, I have a problem, acidity, I'll take milk, or I'll keep quiet, cool down myself. So these are certain good things this situation is giving. To manage this stress, all these things we have to understand, and not just understand, we have to work on it. I am sure this webinar, arrangement of this webinar, had the aim it should help people. And by the Singh sir's speech, I'm sure everyone has been understood the whole process, why we are feeling this, what we are feeling, what feeling we are having, and then how to overcome. All the complete scenario is now in front of everyone. Only thing is that you have to stand up and start doing. I thank Pradhan Madam for giving this opportunity and allowing us to interact with all the people around there who are seeing this, who are watching this. Thank you very much, and hope this your hard effort of all the team members, Kekre Madam, Sahane Sir, Gauri Sir, all are taking, Hathore Sir, all are taking so much of efforts, and I'm sure that these efforts are going to help all people around there who are watching this webinar. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, Beta. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for the resourceful session. I am sure all the participants have got different insights about the causes of stress and learned new ways and means to fight with COVID-19 in a better manner as compared to earlier. Because of time limit, we are taking only one question. And this question is from Pramita Kamble. She's asking how to come out of unrealistic thoughts emerging due to COVID-19. And this question is to Professor Rajput sir.
See, hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Yeah, it's audible. Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, sir.
See, thoughts used to avoid. The only thing is the realization, right? Because you cannot avoid means unrealistic thoughts to come into your mind. It will come because situation is like such that the thoughts will keep on coming, right? The only thing is you have to put on reality test whether it exists or not. If it exists, then ask for the solution. Go for the solution. If it doesn't exist in the situation, no need of doing. So you cannot avoid unrealistic thoughts, but you have to work on it. That is the only way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for answering the queries of participant. Thank you. Now, I request to Dr. Sahane, sir, to propose vote of thanks. Dr. Sahane, sir. Dr. Sahane, sir.
सर ऑडिओ अनम्यूट करा सानी सर.
Unmute, unmute.
ऑडिओ बंद आहे सर. सानी सर.
हॅलो,
हा सर, युअर ऑडिबल.
आवाज येतोय?
हा येतोय, बोला सर.
Good afternoon to all the dignities, participants, and friends. It gives me immense pleasure to express my vote of thanks on the occasion of one-day national level webinar on stress management during COVID-19 and lockdown. First of all, I would like to thank today's keynote addressee, Honorable Professor Dr. Rajendra Singh Rajput sir, for enlightening our thought and giving wonderful remarks on the subject. Thank you very much indeed, sir. I would like to thank Professor Dr. Aparna Ashtaputre Sisode ma'am for giving such a wonderful, informative, presenting address. Thank you, ma'am. I also express my sense of gratitude towards our vibrant principal, Dr. Vaishali Pradhan ma'am, Milling College of Arts, for organizing series of webinars on different innovative subjects. Thank you, ma'am. I thank Head of the Department of Psychology and convener of the webinar, Dr. Swati Kekre ma'am, for being instrumental for success of the webinar. I thank Dr. Shankar Gaudi sir giving wonderful introduction to the guest. I sincerely thank Vice Principal Dr. Santosh Burkul sir, all the teachers and technical staff for their valuable contribution. I express deepest sense of gratitude towards all the dignities and participants for making this webinar a grand success. Thank you all. With the permission of our principal, I declare this webinar is over. Thank you.
There is one announcement. there is one announcement for participants. We are posting the feedback form link on the WhatsApp and Telegram group. So all the participants are requested to fill and submit the feedback form of this webinar immediately. And I request to all the elite participants to join us for our next webinar, which will be conducted soon. Details of it will be informed to you. Thank you. Jai Bhim.
विनय यूट्यूब बंद कर. हेलो हेलो विनय.
मॅडम
ऐकायला येते?
विनयची कनेक्टिव्हिटी तुटलेली आहे. डायरेक्ट बंद करावं लागेल आपल्याला.
Okay, okay. So Rajput sir, madam, Aparna, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for
It was
providing the
really a
opportunity,
pleasure.
ma'am.
It was really a
Thank you
pleasure
Same
to
here,
listen.
ma'am.
Yes, it was a pleasure listening to
Same
both
here,
of
same
you.
here.
Yes, yes. And nice
Thank
meeting
you
you.
very much. Thank you.
I'll just
Same here.
disconnect and catch you on the mobile. I'll catch you on that.
Right, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Take care. Bye.
Okay.